Good afternoon. I'm Reagan Garrell, President and CEO of the Alamance Chamber, and it is a delight to welcome you all here to Revere Copper. What a great day to be in Mebane, celebrating the grand opening of this state-of-the-art facility right here in Mebane. The Alamance Chamber is always so very proud to welcome businesses here to Alamance County, and today is no different. I would like to take a moment and recognize a few of the Alamance Chamber board members that are here with us today. If you all could raise your hand. We love celebrating businesses. And on behalf of those Alamance Chamber board members and our staff, we welcome you all to Alamance, and we thank you for investing in our great community. It is now my pleasure to introduce Steve Carter, Vice Chair of the Alamance County Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Reagan. As I was heading over here today, I couldn't help but think about the corresponding history between Revere and Alamance County. While Paul Revere was a national hero of the Revolutionary War period and the founder of Revere, Alamance County was the home of one of the first battles in the Revolutionary War. A lot of you may not have known that before you came here, if you came here with Revere and weren't from Alamance County. There's a battleground site just south on 87 that, on 62 that you can visit, and you can find out some more about the history of that. But it's a wonderful opportunity for Alamance County to welcome Revere to Alamance County. We do that, and with all sincerity, wish you all a lot of luck and a lot of growth and a lot of opportunity, and get bigger, right? More tax dollars for Alamance County. With that, wish you all well, and I'll introduce Jennifer Talley, the mayor of Graham, to our next speaker. Thank you.
Appreciate my promotion there. Thank you so much. I appreciate being here today. Thank you guys for everyone that has come today and given up time in your life to come and welcome Revere Copper here to Alamance County. The industrial park here was a kind of a dream that was put together several years ago, and I'm sure remembering back to those times and those meetings, we didn't know what this actually, what that was going to actually turn into. And it's exciting to see new businesses come every single day and see an interest of the opportunities that we have here in Alamance County. And this is certainly a business that is true to innovation, and we're excited for the possibilities, the job opportunities that we have here that you're going to be giving to our local community, and just welcome, welcome, welcome. We hope that you guys really enjoy our town. Please visit our downtown. We have a beautiful historic downtown Graham. Please come down and get you some custard and eat at some of the local shops. And we have a big event this Saturday in downtown Graham. They'll have live music on all the corners, and we have concert series all summer long, and it's just a great place to live and work. And thank you so much for being here, and thank you for picking Graham and the industrial park. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Carter, Mayor Talley. It is now my pleasure to introduce Ed Hooks, Mayor of the City of Mebane.
Steve, thank you for reminding me about the Revolutionary War. You and I just entered politics about that time, and it was a good time since then. It is indeed a pleasure. This is a fantastic day in Mebane. We have been blessed in Mebane and Alamance County for industrial newbies, for want of another word, and this one is tremendously exciting with the history and stuff, and I really appreciate it and welcome y'all today. It's exciting. I've been looking forward to this day for a while. Mebane is a community with a strong past foundation, as Revere is, and a long history that others are attempting to emulate. Citizens that are working hard to further build upon that foundation within the present, and has a future that hopefully will remain positively charming. I want to welcome all of you and thank you for today's ceremony, as this event represents a celebration of yet another example of making sure Mebane's future remains positively charming. Before I go any further, I'd like to introduce some of our city officials that are here today. We have Sean Ewing, our city councilman, Montrina Hadley, our city councilwoman. I think that's all the council here today. I have a failure to see everybody. We also have Chris Rollins, our city manager, Preston Mitchell, our assistant city manager, Ashley Omby, who is our zoning director and development director. And we have our own Kelly Hunter, who's our public information officer, which she does a magnificent job. But on behalf of the entire Mebane City Council and other city officials, we're excited to be here with Revere Copper to officially cut the ribbon on one of the Mebane's newest community members. Mebane is well known for its growth and its location, but our high quality of life is what really makes these two things relevant. Mebane, in partnership with City of Graham and Alamance County officials and community leaders, recognized that our community was going to have to partner and make investments into the infrastructure to remain economically viable and attractive for industries. Many traditional automotive plants were pursued for this site and others in Mebane, but our collective endeavors have resulted in a complex that is equal or even better, in my opinion, to what an automotive plant would have brought to Mebane. The resulting partnership and approach led to where we stand today, the North Carolina Commerce Park. While Revere Copper may not be our largest industry, it is indeed an industry that has the largest historical American stories and holds a special place in all our hearts as Americans. Revere Copper has a tagline, an unparalleled history of copper excellence. And this tagline applies to both its cutting-edge work, but also its reference to the roots of American patriots and historical Revolutionary War, Paul Revere. In addition to this place in our history books for the Midnight Ride, Paul Revere was a silversmith that was a pioneer in production of rolled copper, and it became the first American to successfully roll this metal into sheets. In 1801, he founded North America's first copper mill because of his concern that the United States had to import sheet copper from England. And that statement rings true today in our industrial development. History further tells us that Revere learned his role and his trade from his father, and then retired in 1811, leaving his well-established business in the hands of his son and two grandsons. This has resulted in over 200 years of successful operation, leading to the expansion in Mebane. It is altogether fitting to recognize this founding father of the United States, the importance then and now of domestic manufacturing, and the unique connection that only approximately 20 minutes away is the Battle of Alamance historical site that has been mentioned. This battle involved similar events leading to the Revere's Midnight Ride, related to colonial taxation and local control. Furthermore, the city of Mebane was named for General of the American Revolution and Congressman Alexander Mebane. You could almost say today's event signals it just meant to be to have Paul Revere's namesake company located in Mebane, Alamance County, North Carolina, in USA. Revere Copper does remain cutting edge today, and now is part of the electric vehicle industrial market. Their company reports that they recognize the need to better serve their current and prospective customers by conceptualizing a new state-of-the-art plant within Mebane, North Carolina, chosen for our quality of life factors, but especially our proximity to the EV industry of this area. Wealth Management stated in mid-2021, and I quote, "Accelerating demand for industrial space is driving a boom in speculative construction in the sector by investors and developers across the board." Since 2021, the economic climate has resulted in concerns and seen speculative industrial construction decrease in many parts of the United States. This has not been the case in Mebane, and this company immediately seized the opportunity of an available industrial building is another example how strong Mebane and Alamance County economic climate, and specifically the market, remains. It is important to note that Revere Copper has remained true to their history and have a belief in American manufacturing, of which robust manufacturing is vital to our economy and our national interest. It is clear that if Paul Revere was here today, he would be proud of Revere Copper and call Mebane home to his company's newest location. I am excited about the impressive level of history, experience, and expertise that led Revere Copper to the City of Mebane and Alamance County. I am even more excited that they repeatedly stated their desire to be a part of the Mebane community just beyond economics. Revere Copper officials and team members, thank you so much for choosing Mebane and Alamance County for your home and expanded operations, being one of the newest made-in-America manufacturers, and your desire to ensure our community remains positively charming. In conclusion, I would like to mention and compliment both the past and present Mebane, Alamance County, City of Graham officials, and community leaders that have continued to encourage our partnership and economic growth via the North Carolina Commerce Park. Again, thank you, Revere Copper, for becoming the newest stakeholder, the newest investor, and community partner within Mebane. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Hooks. Now, please join me in inviting Sean Stewart, Forward Plant Manager here at Revere Copper.
Thank you. Definitely want to start by thanking the Alamance County Chamber of Commerce members, Reagan, Kevin, Kelly. From our first meeting with Preston, we felt absolutely welcomed here and wanted here. And the Mebane city officials, Graham too, always worked with us right down, not just in the plant acquisition, but in the subsequent upgrades that we've had. We've worked with the city inspectors, like Keith, Alonzo, Jamie. They all wanted us to do it right and take care of our team, make sure that we made a safe place for them to work. But they also respected that we were trying to expand American manufacturing, and that was exciting. They were real partners. So I got a couple visual aids. Okay. Vanna. Revere Copper makes sheet copper, plate, and bus bar. This is what bus bar is, and it's an electrical conductor. So a lot of people are familiar with Revere Ware, which was cooking stuff, and at one point Revere was in every form of copper they could get into, but it shrank its company down to the core profitable businesses. And so we needed to expand. We couldn't make enough of this bus bar in Rome, New York. So even though we could have expanded in Rome, we found out about a new process called continuous rotary extrusion. And we've been investigating it for years, but what made it possible was there was a supplier of this copper rod, which is our starting product to make this bus bar, in North Carolina. So in Shelby, North Carolina, I'll put this down. A manufacturer was expanding their capabilities and was going to be able to supply us with the raw materials that we needed for this process. So we set out to find a place to build this within 200 miles of that. And that took us through South Carolina, Tennessee, and North Carolina. And ultimately, we ended up here, right? And there's reasons for that. One, which you've already mentioned, is that North Carolina is a business-friendly state, in this area in particular. Made us feel very welcome. The timing was right for this particular building. The previous manufacturer that was here was pulling out in just enough time for us to get our equipment in here. And the building was a little bit bigger than what we were originally looking for. And that is very fortunate because we are already started to expand. And so we have expansion plans for this year. We've already installed one machine. We have another one coming, another line coming in the end of May, which we'll try to get up and running in June. And we have capital expansion plans for 2025 already. So that's very exciting. That wouldn't have happened if we didn't pick this particular area in this building. As you heard, we're also close to customers. So if our raw material and our customers are down here, then it makes a lot of logistical sense to do it in this area. And it doesn't hurt that 40 and 85 are less than a mile from this plant. So this industrial park is perfectly suited, and this building was great. One of the most important things is that we found an excellent workforce here. We found a lot of people with light manufacturing experience and a couple of people that had aluminum extrusion experience, and that's been handy. So when, after acquiring the building and getting some equipment in here, we hired our first 7 employees, and there was none more important than Charlie Pennington. I want everybody to recognize Charlie Pennington over here, one of our team leads. Charlie was an employee at Prescient, the former company here, and we made a great choice in selecting him for a team lead. And he allowed us a deep insight into what the current workforce was here and was able to tell us, you want this person, that person, you do not want that person. And all kidding aside, that's really important in building a culture, because Charlie and I talked and we wanted people that could learn, people that had a can-do attitude, and that would show up to work. So that insight, it's difficult when you interview, and I like to pride myself on my interview skills, but it's difficult to get it right every time, and having that was really handy. We hired our first 7 employees. They started off that core culture, and Carl, right? Carl, a bunch of you guys are still in here, right? And so great group of guys that have got us started. And so we installed some equipment and started making some bare copper in the February of last year. We all had to learn together because I mentioned that continuous rotary extrusion process was new to us. It's not the same process that's done in Rome. So we learned, we grew, but we're missing one key machine, and that was a silver coating line. And this February, so in 2024, we installed a silver coating line, and that dramatically increased our demand. And because of that, we have another machine coming in to help expand our capacity in June, and that's going to double our output here. But to do that, we don't just have to add people for that line. We've got to add crews to all of our lines. And so we're looking to hire about 30 more people in May and June, and hopefully by July be about double the size that we are right now. So that's good. And as mentioned, more tax dollars. This has been an amazing experience. I've had a lot of fun throughout my career, but this probably tops it all. Being a part of building something from the ground up and growing American manufacturing. I talked a little bit about the technical side, but it's really about the people here in Alamance and Mebane, people in Rome that support us every day, and all these good people in white shirts here that make copper, right? Round of applause for them. I skipped a line. I forgot to mention Rich Maxim, our other team lead, 20 years at Revere, bringing all kinds of cultural experience with us to help us start this plant. So thank you, Rich. Anyway, I just want to thank everyone for helping us continue to make history. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean, and to you and your entire team. You've heard from me, from the Chamber, and from Alamance County, City of Graham, City of Mebane. We are all here to support you as you all continue to grow here in Alamance County. It is now my pleasure to introduce Amy O'Shaughnessy, yes, no, horrible, Vice President of Sales and Marketing with Revere Copper. Come on up, Amy.
Yeah,
To pronounce it.
that's pretty good. I usually just spell it for people. It's pretty hard, but yeah. Thank you for having us. And maybe I'll just first start by saying Mike O'Shaughnessy, who is our CEO, was supposed to be here today, and life happened, and he just could not make the trip. But I'm going to do my best to kind of substitute things that he might say. But I know he's very, very appreciative of pretty much everything that both cities, the chamber, the county have done for Revere. Man, he's so thankful for the employees here. They're like, he's so proud of you guys, and I think you guys know that. And yeah, so that's what he would have said. And sorry that he can't be here. So you get me. I'm our Vice President of Sales and Marketing, and I thought about what I wanted to say today, and there were three main things. I thought about, I should tell them a little bit about our history. I don't think I need to do that anymore. You did an awesome job. Like, you nailed it. Thank you very much for that. I'll probably expand on it, maybe just a touch. I want to talk about our ownership, because I think it's kind of interesting, and maybe just a little bit more about our people, and then I'll stop boring you. But a little bit more about our history. I've been at Revere 25 years now, and I've seen a lot over those 25 years. I started, well, now you'll know my age. I started at 21 years old in the year 1999. And for those of you that were around in 99 and 2000, the economy was booming, right? There was the whole computer stuff. I'm going to use wrong words, but like it was before the dot-com like bust, right? And all that stuff happened. But it was very, very busy. Revere was hiring nonstop. And it was really an exciting time to be a part of the company. And from about 2001 to maybe 2017, very different landscape than what we see today. And what that landscape was our customer base that was largely located in America, our customer base left. They went to Mexico, they went to China. That's what happened. So you have fewer customers. That impacts your business. Another thing that happened along with that is there were imports coming in from other countries. So now you have greater supply of material and not enough people to consume it. That's like a recipe for disaster. That's all about you're dropping prices, you're laying off people, you're closing plants to stay alive. And that is what Revere did. When I started, we were at 550 people in New York. We had a plant in New Bedford, Massachusetts that was about 100 people, and that just went down and down and down and down and down every year. And man, that's a hard environment to stay in for a couple of decades. It's actually downright depressing, but you touched on Revere's history, and what I would tell you is there's so many people at Revere that history is deep inside them and wanted to do everything they could to make the company relevant. And over those years, there were employees that gave back money, didn't take raises, did all sorts of stuff so Revere could be here. And man, I'm so proud of where we are today that I could start crying because I never thought the day would come that we would grow. And so here we are. We had about 4 or 5 years behind us where business started to pick up. American manufacturing became just kind of I want to say it started as a buzzword in 2016 and 2017, and then it started to become a reality. I think COVID really changed things with supply chains. All of a sudden, like having a closer supply chain became real and a lot more relevant, and companies started to make different decisions. They could no longer get cheap goods from overseas. They were paying a ton of money in freight, and all that landscape has just helped a company like Revere. So now here we are, and it was a couple of years ago that we had enough had changed in the marketplace that we were no longer shrinking. Now for the first time ever, it was like, we have more business than we can handle. What are we gonna do about this? And we can finally grow. So to be an employee that has been through all of that, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I'm so thankful that you guys here in this part of our country support us and support American manufacturing. So maybe just a tad bit more on that. Revere, there's basically 4 other companies like us in America that do what we do. And I would say at one point, 4 of those 5 companies were all American owned. And there was one that came in the 80s that was from Korea. Of those 5 companies left, we are the only true American privately owned manufacturing company left. The other, yeah. So 2 of the 4 are owned by, they're German-owned companies, and the other one's owned by a private equity group, and just kind of changes hands every few years. And that's not us. We're here to stay, we want to grow, and we believe in our people. So speaking of people, that was the last thing I wanted to end on, is Sean, where's Sean? You touched on that a lot. We have great people at Revere. If you were to ever make a trip up to Rome, New York, I don't know why you'd want to come all the way up there, but if you did, we'd give you a tour of our plant, and one thing you would see there is there are multiple people that are multiple generations working at Revere. I happen to be a 4th generation on my father's side working there. My husband, there's 3 generations in his family. You have many people that have 4 generations or beyond. And Tim Murphy's got a couple in his family. It's really special. And I don't know, it just is. And I think it tells you a lot about our culture and who we are. So maybe for all the Mebane employees, someday your kids, might be working here. But do we already? See, that's awesome. Yeah, really? Oh, that's great. So I think I hit my key topics. More on the history, American company, and our people. So thank you for supporting all of that. Happy to be here, and sorry you didn't get Mike's speech, but there we go. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Amy. And now the moment we have all waited for. We're going to cut a ribbon. I think we're going to head outside. If everyone can see Kevin, we're going to follow him in the direction that we're going, and let's head outside and cut this ribbon.
Look in here.
Have a good shot.
Yep, ready whenever you are.
All right. On 3. 1, 2, 3. On 3. 1, 2, 3.